So here's my other question for you, because this is something that I've wrestled with. I came into Good Shepherd when there was already a young adult group established, and I was kind of wrapped into the fold. But you may have seen the beginning of it. What did it look like at the beginning?
Nothing. It looked like a high school graduate, one or two college-age people, and a couple in their 40s that wanted to provide a place for them to hang out. And that's really it. We started having lunch together after church on Sundays. We started Bible study, and that it all just built from there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was pretty much nothing.
So it started with like 4 people, 5 people maybe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried, when I first got here, I tried over and over and over again to get groups of young adults together, and it was like herding kittens. Like, it was just, okay, we're going to, we can all do Friday night. We're going to do Friday night, and then 4 people would show up. Okay, we're going to all do Saturday night. Let's try Saturday morning. Let's try Sunday after church. And it would be 4 people every single time. And it was 4 different people. It was never the same. So we had like 10 to 15 young adults that we were trying to get together in the same room. But it was like, okay, when can you get together? Like, we want you to get together and get connected. And so I can see, that's kind of my question is, was there frustration in those early days of, oh, it's only 4 people, or oh, it's only 5 people. Is this enough? Or was it just, okay, it's 4 people, but we're going to provide a ministry for them?
Yeah, it was, it had to be that. It had to be, all right, there's 5 of us. Let's not try to do a program or an event. That's when we would feel frustration, is when we try to do an event and only a few people show up. So we were like, all right, forget it. No more events. We're just going to go eat together. Mm-hmm. We're going to go eat anyway. Like, you're going to either go home or you're going to go to a restaurant. So let's just all do it together. And we'll pick Moe's because there's a place right beside it that's not Moe's if you don't like Moe's, but we can still all eat together outside. It just became that kind of thing. And then, hey, I live right by the church and we have a pool. Anybody that wants to come over and play volleyball, come on. Like, it was just that kind of organic, and it was the chemistry and the friendships and the things naturally developed on their own. So it was very little that the church, and I was, working at the church at the time, very little that the church did. It was more just having the awareness to know, hey, there's a community, and let's keep them in mind, and let's be intentional about letting other people know when they do visit, hey, there's a group that does this stuff, go find this person, and making that one-on-one connection with them. Because it's, especially at bigger churches, it's hard to just go up and meet somebody. It's, as adults, we can't do what we did as kids. You're like, hey, what's your name? Oh, my name's so-and-so. You want to play? Yeah, okay. And that was it. And you have a friend. And you can't do that as an adult because you either come off as creepy or desperate or weird, socially awkward, or all of the above. And so people are really shy and hesitant about doing that unless they're super extroverted. But those that aren't, it's just like, oh man, going up and talking to a stranger and just basically saying, hey, I need friends. You look like you need friends too. Do you want to be friends? Like, that's so hard for adults to do, and it's just very weird.
Do you know that there's a Bumble Friends? Have you heard of this?
I've heard of it. I've never tried it. But yeah, there's a Bumble. If you're not looking to date someone, it's just to make a friend. Like, it's just for that. And I'm like, on the one hand, like, I totally should be using that. Like, it would be a great resource. On the other hand, the fact that we need that just shows what adult life is, that it's much harder to meet people when you're that age. I remember... Go ahead. I think that's why you see such a surge in things like boot camps and CrossFit and jiu-jitsu and yoga. Like, those 4 things, boot camps, CrossFit, jiu-jitsu, and yoga, are exploding in this city, I know, and I think around the country, but it's because they provide for a lot of people that thing that you don't get at churches, which is come together, do something together, have fun, like something that's actually enjoyable and fun, and meet whoever you want. Just connect however you want. Like you'll form a bond if you're doing something together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that I've for years I've been on that train of churches need to be looking at jiu-jitsu community, CrossFit community, and saying, hey, look, they're really scratching a major itch in society. How, as a church, how are we scratching that same itch? What, we're going to do another, series of messages? Well, again, not scratching that itch. A worship night, not scratching that itch. Like those things aren't bad, they're great, but they're not scratching the itch that people predominantly in their late 20s through mid 40s are flocking to these places for.
I would love to do more research on. It's not just what those programs are doing, which is they're bringing people around. They're bringing people together in a way that you have an activity to focus on instead of feeling like even I've been to meetups before where it was like a dinner meetup and you're kind of awkwardly making conversation with each other. When you're working out, you don't have to make conversation with each other. You just do your thing, and then what happens out of that is very organic. But there also are gyms in our, I've been to a lot of the CrossFit gyms in our area, been to a lot of the weightlifting gyms in our area, been to a lot of the gym gyms in our area because of what I do. And there is a different feel behind places like CrossFit. Humble, I'll say, is one that puts a lot of effort in community and making sure when they do their warm-ups, they go through and introduce everyone and everyone says their name first. And they've been very, very intentional about building a community. I'm not saying that it's a perfect community. I'm sure that they have their junk too. But from what I've seen as an outsider, I felt very welcome from the very first moment that I stepped in, and it was a very intentional thing. And so I think it's not just about, they're coming together for an activity, but it's also about learning what of these places are doing hospitality really well too, and making people feel welcome and making sure that they're part of the community.
Yeah, and that they have something to do. Mm-hmm. They're not just sitting there like, all right, make friends. Like, no, like, okay, we're here, we all have a shared purpose, and you will make friends in the process. But that's what there's got to be a way. There has to be stuff that churches can do if they think that it's a need, if they see the need. And I don't think that churches see the need, especially family churches, because they're so busy focusing on families, rightfully so, and they're already doing so much, and family ministry is already hard enough as it is, that it's almost like just they don't even see the need among the people.
I think it's just hard. I mean, as someone who's been in those shoes before, because I used to be in charge of young adults at Weddington, it's hard because we do Sunday Fun Day every year, and it's a big children-focused event, family-focused event. So when I first came on board, I said, hey, I'm single and I have nothing to do here. And so I kind of started putting, we worked together to put some more activities in and got Sports Connection involved and all that kind of thing. And it just was like, no one was really interested in coming out. So if no one's interested in coming out, and we put together a dodgeball, kickball field for people to play kickball on, and no one wants to show up, what do you do? Like, if it's 3 people, then, and I think going back to my original question, your response to that, I think it is being okay with, it may just be dinner with 3 people to start with, and that grows into volleyball at the pool or whatever.